Okay, guys, I'm here to give my review of WWE Backlash 2016, the return of Backlash as a SmackDown-only pay-per-view as we kick off the new era of brand-exclusive pay-per-views. And that basically means I have 19 pay-per-view reviews to do a year now. That's going to be fun. 19 pay-per-views a year. Jeez, WWE. 19? Anyway, let me tell you something. This show, Backlash, was better than all of Raw last night. That says something. I'll get to that tomorrow on my Raw review. And SmackDown was actually better than Raw a little bit, and I'll get to that in my SmackDown review on a Thursday or Friday, depending when I ever get the chance to do these. So we come out with Shane and Daniel Bryan, and given that this is the first SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view of the new brand split era, why not? Now, this doesn't need to be a thing every time, like at No Mercy and whatnot, but I'll give it a pass today. So, for this pay-per-view. Now, that Shane did say that SmackDown's records have been receiving record ratings since the brand split. That's not technically true, as the go-home show to Backlash was actually SmackDown's lowest rating at the brand split, but you can't have a home run every time. And that show, literally, while it was better than Raw, still wasn't a bad show. Raw's got a lot of work to do with its rating, and I'll talk about that coming up tomorrow, too. But we open with the 6-pack elimination challenge to determine the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion. Becky Lynch versus Natayla versus Naomi versus Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Bella versus Carmella. 3-star match here. Very solid match. Very solid match, I gotta say. This match went about 15 minutes, and this goes to show you that if the WWE just lets these women work, what they can do, because this match was better than Raw's triple threat match, Monday, which was how Raw decided to counter this. All of them looked good, all 6 of them looked good. Now, I don't know how this would have worked if Eva Marie was in this match, but the 6 that were in it, they all looked good. They all got some very good spots in. Alexa Bliss was the first eliminated, which was a surprise. But, the Harley Quinn of the WWE now, because that's her look now. She was eliminated by a top rope blockbuster by Naomi, and then Naomi, after getting Nikki's forearm, Natalya taps out to the sharpshooter. Natalya then gets eliminated by Nikki with her TKO move. Carmella then eliminates Nikki Bella. And then it comes down to Carmella and Becky, which is interesting, because I would have thought the final two in this match would be Becky and Nikki, but I was pleasantly surprised, and Becky taps out Carmella to become the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion. So well deserved. What's ironic about Becky Lynch is she's the only member of the she's the only horsewoman never to win the NXT Women's Championship. And now 3 of the 4 have won a women's title on the main roster, and Bayley will probably be next. So all 4 of the 4 horsewomen are going to be a champion on the main roster. And Becky's the only one of them that wasn't the NXT Women's Champion, to my knowledge. I don't think she ever was. But, good match, 3 stars. It's clear to me that Carmella and Nikki's probably going to go through No Mercy. So, you're probably going to have 2 women's matches at No Mercy. And given SmackDown, our roster for SmackDown's getting bigger and bigger, so we can have more than 6 matches on these pay-per-views now. So, there was a kickoff match between Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews, which was a very good match and probably would help this card out, but it was a pre-show match, and sadly it doesn't count as the rating of this show. So the second match was the second chance match for the Tag Team Championship Tournament, as it's the Hype Bros versus the Usos, the final 2 teams eliminated from the SmackDown Tag Team Tournament. Although technically American Alpha was the most recent team eliminated from that tournament because they were pulled out of it due to the injury of Chad Gable, but, this was a good match. This was a 2.5-star match, an average tag match. A good match. I think the Usos ditching the face paint. You could have still had the face paint and made it black and colorful, but they've also done away with their fan favorite entrance. I have no real problem with the heel Uso. They were wearing all black, so they looked a lot like Roman Reigns. They fixed that on SmackDown. I'll get to that when I review SmackDown. The Usos win in the same manner they took out Chad Gable. They worked on Zack Ryder's leg, and then they put him in and then one of them put him in the Tequila Sunrise, and they won by submission. So they go on to the finals of the SmackDown Live Tag Team Tournament, Tag Team Championship Tournament. So 2.5 stars, good match. So then we get probably either the match of the night or the second best match of the night, depending upon your preference, as it's the Intercontinental Championship match, The Miz and Dolph Ziggler. This was a very good match. It was a 3.5 star match, verging on a 4-star match. In fact, if Miz would have won clean, I would have given it 4 stars. But because of Maryse, I'm giving it 3.5. Now, I don't mind that Maryse interfered in the match, but for a match that had no story or build to it, good match here. I figured this would be a good match, because Miz and Dolph can give good matches. Miz and Dolph can have a good match of each other. That's not the problem. I think all their matches have been good that they've had. It's just, as a match you've seen so many times, you don't get invested in. But, Maryse sprayed something in Dolph's face, and then Miz at the skull-crushing finale, and retained the IC title. Very good match, though. 3.5 stars. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this match. So then we get... Now, Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt did not happen. It was always talked about, but Randy Orton was apparently not cleared to wrestle, and Bray Wyatt attacked him in the back, and he got a forfeit victory over Randy Orton. So I'm not counting Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. What we got instead was a no-holds-barred match between Kane and Bray Wyatt. Now, the record book will officially say that Bray Wyatt beat Randy Orton, which is nice, but it would have been better if it was in an actual match. But so we get Kane and Bray Wyatt in a 2.5 star no-holds-barred match. Nothing special. I mean, it wasn't bad. I liked the spot where Bray ran across the announce table and then did his running senton through Kane through the Spanish one. I like that spot. But other than that, I felt this was a generic no-holds-barred match. Randy Orton gave the RKO and then to Bray, and then Kane chokeslammed Bray to win the match. So yes, Bray Wyatt lose at another pay-per-view, but it was due to interference from Randy Orton, so I'll let that slide a little bit, but still a 2.5 star match, not a bad match. Kane in 2016 was defeating Bray Wyatt on pay-per-view, which is a problem, but So then we get the SmackDown Tag Team Championship Tournament Final. Heath Slater and Rhino versus the Usos. The storyline of, can Heath Slater get signed? Will the hashtag of sign Heath Slater come true? This is a good match for an under 10-minute match. Rhino and Heath Slater, the way they're working their tag matches is very old school. Heath Slater is the guy who takes the punishment, and Rhino's the guy who's doing the finishing work. That's a very old school kind of tag team thing. That's a very old school kind of tag team philosophy. It's very Rock and Roll Express-ish in a way. There's a good spot the Usos do here where they double suplex Heath Slater on the ring post. That was an interesting spot. And just when you think the Usos are going to win, as one Uso's being taken out of the ring, Rhino spears the other Uso, and Heath Slater covers that Uso, and him and Rhino become the first ever SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Now, how a free agent can actually become a champion is beyond me, but I'm not going to complain because Heath Slater's got himself over. He's getting bigger pops than half the people on the main roster do with this, so let's see where this goes. I hope they at least hold this title to No Mercy. I'll say that. So then, that was a 3-star match. So then we get what is my opinion the match of the night. Could have been better had not been for the finish, and it's the WWE World Championship match. Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles. 4-star match here. I don't really have a lot to complain about in this match other than the finish with that low blow and then the Styles clash. I felt that Dean and AJ did a lot of good stuff. There was a slingshot of AJ on the apron into the ring post. That could have went wrong, but didn't. AJ used a low blow and in the Styles Clash and got the win. So at least someone has actually, AJ's won a major match with the Styles Clash and all that. So yeah, AJ Styles leaves Backlash as the WWE World Champion in a very good, solid match. AJ Styles has not had a bad match yet on pay-per-view this year. Since getting there, he's only been there for 8 months and he's already the WWE World Champion. That tells you how well AJ Styles has adapted to the WWE in that case. Yeah. So, 4 stars of that match. This show is an 18.5 out of possible 30 stars. That makes it a B-. Yeah, that makes it a B-. That makes it a B+, because it's very close to 2/3. It's very close to 2/3 of its total rating. So, this is a B+ show. I believe that's the highest rating of a pay-per-view I've given this year. So, that's how good this show was for what it was. Thoroughly enjoyed this show. One of the better pay-per-views this year, actually. It was quite an easy watch. I never got bored watching it. I was enthralled by a lot of this. So yeah, that's what I want in wrestling. I don't care if the matches are 5-star all the way through or even long. I just want to be entertained by what I see. And I got that. So yeah, great, good pay-per-view. B+ show. So if you like this video, like button down there, subscribe button down there, and thank you for watching. Bye.